Hi, I am Heather Danielle, and I'm just making another movie. Um, I just wanted to talk about a very topic that's been close to my heart for a couple months now, and it's depression and mental illness and all the stigmas that are out there. I suffer from depression and anxiety, and a lot of times people will judge you based on your mental illness. But I much rather know that I have this than to proclaim that I don't and then end up doing something stupid. Because with depression, a lot of times people tend to have moments of really low periods, which I'm not any different than anybody else. Where you think of self harm, I had somebody not want to recognize their own self mental health issues, and it resulted in his depression pretty much being terminal. When you know a family member's depressed, a lot of times they're not going to necessarily tell you all the time that they have ideations of killing themselves, or that some days are just a daily struggle. But a lot of people who go through depression will have a period. And what I found when I've gotten into my suicidal ideation periods, I'm very sensitive. I wouldn't consider myself suicidal. I was when I was a teenager a couple times. I think it's very important in how you talk to people you know who have depression. And I think also if you're the one that's suffering from depression, that you should identify and talk to somebody immediately the minute that you start having ideations or suicidal thoughts. It's You shouldn't be embarrassed that you want to hurt yourself. You shouldn't be embarrassed of your mental health. What you should be embarrassed of is not getting help and keeping it a secret, because everybody I've known who's had underlying mental health issues that never got them addressed either turn out to be addicts or they harm themselves. And I think it's because of the stigma that's placed on people. And I think more people than you realize have mental health issues. I think most people in their lifetime will go through a period of depression, and you're not alone. So if you're feeling any of these feelings of self harm and you're wanting to do something, call one of the hotline numbers if you don't have anybody. If not, pick up, call your best friend, call somebody. I know a lot of people say that when you talk about suicide and having these thoughts that you're out there trying to get attention. No, I don't believe that. I believe a lot of times that people, when they're suicidal, they just want people to listen to them to try to help get rid of this pain. I don't really think it's a attention thing that everybody, I think that's a part of the stigma that needs to stop. I think people should feel comfortable expressing themselves, even if it means that they're having feelings that are not good. We don't want people to feel isolated where they're not able to open up, because that's when things happen. A suicidal person can get elevated very easily, and it takes a split second to make that decision. And once you do, you can't go back from that. I really like the "It's Okay to Talk" challenge that came from the Andy's Man Club. But I think this is starting to reach more than just males, more than just kids, more than just females. A lot of people are losing hope, depression. We've had a lot of mental health issues that I don't think have been really addressed in this country that I hope start getting addressed, as far as helping people with these addictions and trying to get us better where we're supposed to be as far as with the stigmas. I mean, even doctors will sometimes treat you differently because of mental illness, because I just don't think people are educated about it. So I'm gonna do some education videos here soon on mental health and stigmas, and I'm gonna be the first to tell you I have depression, I have general anxiety disorder, I have post-traumatic stress disorder, I am mentally ill, and I'm not ashamed of it. And If you suffer from the things that I suffer from, I would hope that you wouldn't be ashamed of it either. Would you be ashamed if you had cancer? I'm just stating the facts. Just because it's a mental health, just because it's a mental health thing, doesn't necessarily mean that it's any less valuable or people shouldn't pay attention to it as any other element or, you know. So, I just wanted to do a quick little video, and I'm going to start researching. But one thing I did want to leave in this video is one thing that I don't think people realize, that is, if you have anxiety or depression, one of the natural remedies if you're waiting to get in to see a doctor, and I know a lot of people are like, nah, this isn't gonna work, but it's exercise. If you exercise, it helps with the endorphins in your brain, which helps with the dopamines. And the more your endorphins and dopamines build up in your brains, it helps with the serotonin and all, and helps with coping with depression and anxiety. So if you're currently waiting to get into a mental health facility, I would suggest trying to get into an exercise regimen to try to build your endorphins, because it will help you greatly when it comes to your anxieties. But until next time, I'm going to come up with some more natural remedies for anybody who's waiting to get into the doctors, or anybody who wants to try to do it without medication, because I've seen a lot of people successfully overcome depression without medication. However, if you're not one of those ones and you do require to take medication, it's not something that you should feel ashamed about either. But I think a combination of having the natural remedies so that you know what you could do to help with coping, and on top of other things, may help with conquering your depression. Of course, you're going to have your relapses and your good days and your bad days, but I hope this video makes you realize that you're not alone, and that I have faith in God personally, and that helps me. I run a page on Facebook that personally is for me with my depression, but I have it out there because I know I'm not the only one that suffers from it. And whenever I go through really bad days of depression, I'll go through and I'll find some uplifting scriptures or some uplifting quotes, and I'll put them on my page, which makes me feel like I'm helping other people and myself, which is a coping mechanism that seems to be helping pretty well for me. But until next time, I will do some more research and then start evaluating some of my own coping skills and stuff that I do that helps, and see if that might help. All right, well, until next time, bye.